miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Ready to go. And it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to... The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he moves yardage back to the 29. A loss on that play, and now third. From the gun, it's Wilson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's complete to John Ross. Now a play fake here on 1st down. The right side, this is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say that's it.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit. And they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would have seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Open man is Denzel Mims. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Now Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2nd and 12. To throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. He'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Hines. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They're going to look to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get sixes instead of threes.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And some room to maneuver. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
But they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now Wilson on first down. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. He's at the 40. Past the 20.
You'll get nothing.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They go play action with Wilson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Wow. Move. 12. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. 12's the mic. Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot. Mike 12. Mike 12.
Now it's Wilson. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Over the middle, caught by Mims. Wilson will throw again. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Again, he finds Moore. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over first and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 48. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Room to run past midfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 19. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Here as he's taken down. Kenny Clark able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Second and 10. Back to throw here. Going deep downfield for Ross. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ashton Davis. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Darius Leonard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Wilson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play that time by the Jets. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Dancing to his left. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The Jets on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Screen play, Johnson. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Colts pick it up. Accelerating, and off he goes. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
Hey, check Mike 6.
Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Check Mike 12.
Here's Wilson to throw. And the catch made by Johnson. 3 yards the gain there, second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Coming this way. Here we go. 12's the mark. Who that?
To throw again on second down. Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll check this down to Hines. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a throw here to his running back. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing, and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now it's Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Now Blankenship on for the PAT.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not.
And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 27. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl when you have 4 in one game. I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Graham on the grab. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one, were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Colts, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.